I didn't hire him. But it was a great point.
Okay, so we're back. We're still getting ready for the next guest, but I need to know if you can hear me.
Okay, I can share with you. You want me to start this chair out? Where can I be for B-roll? Edge, right there, and then if I'm here, you're good. So if I'm here,
Oh yeah, you're good.
I'm good.
Not even close.
How far in?
Keep going. Yeah,
You're good there. So I'm just gonna kind of.
Yeah, that's my club. Now that I'm telling myself.
You got that.
Turn it down a little bit on there, please.
None out there.
Because I don't. Ooh.
Check the level.
Hello? There you go.
Yes?
Do you want me there with you or hello? If you have something really like important that like it's right there. Talking go right there. Talking to me? Yeah. Like a bun. Why is that the
My guy can drop a pizza. I'm gonna pour a small on that. So anytime you get the opportunity. Oh, wait. Drop a what? Oh, I got that.
Yeah.
All right, Corey, we're good, man. Come on, man. Whatever you're doing is close enough.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Disney's D23 Expo 2017 Day 1. Who's having a good time? Who feels like they've been on their feet for about 20 hours straight? Who just remembered that you have 2 more days of this? There you go. It's not quite as enthusiastic. I am having an amazing time, as always, for our 5th D23 Expo over the past 10 years. And as I've been walking around the show floor today and looking at everything in the Emporium and in halls A and B from all the different divisions of Disney, I've been thinking about over the past few years some of the spectacular announcements that have come at D23 Expos, whether it's at parks and resorts, whether it's from the movies, whether it's from the studios. I remember a number of years ago at a D23 Expo, not long after it was announced that a childhood dream that I never knew I had came true. where Disney and Marvel joined creative forces, and between that and Star Wars, Disney basically encapsulated everything that I loved as a child. If they buy Magilla Gorilla, then the circle is now complete. That's the last piece.
I can't say anything.
I'm a huge Marvel fan. I am a monstrous Spider-Man fan. Thank you, Kevin Feige, for Homecoming. And
You've been in a Spider-Man comic book.
Dude, it is like the greatest joy, other than my children and married and all that kind of stuff. Other than that, only because my wife is right there. The greatest joy of my life was being included in Spider-Man 700. Spoiler alert: Death of Peter Parker. A friend who is a letterer for Marvel did it, and I laughed and I cried and I wept.
Did you know?
I didn't know. I had no idea.
So you just showed up at the comic book shop,
And
opened
I'm
up the
like,
book, and there you were.
No, so somebody sent me an email, and there was a scan of a panel, and I'm like, oh, that's Photoshop and the things that you can do, and then I got like one more, and then I found out through the grapevine that it actually was true, and I called and left a message, and I was crying like a schoolgirl, and then I'll never forget, I was standing outside of Crockett's Tavern in Wilderness, and he called me, and I was trying to be all cool, and I was like, oh, the greatest thing ever. Because, like, you know, it's one thing to tell my mom, like, oh, I interviewed, you know, so-and-so on the show, she'll be like, who? But you say that...
She's going to say that after this interview.
Listen, she's not going to after this interview, because you are one of the very good guys in this entire Disney universe. You are Marvel's Brian Crosby. You are creative director of themed entertainment.
You nailed it.
I don't know if I'm asking you or telling you this one.
Yes.
I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, you got it.
I had it correct. And we've known each other for a few years.
I don't even remember how we know each other, but we do.
I think you emailed me, because like you were doing
I
a
listened to the
podcast.
show.
That, which is crazy.
Yeah.
When I always say you never know who's listening.
Yeah.
And sometimes people who are your sort of heroes in what they do.
No, I'm a podcast junkie, man, and so anything and everything that I'm a fan of, thank goodness they're all free. I'm just like, yes, I want that. I want to listen to that. I want to listen to that, and I have an hour and a half commute every day, so 3 hours total gets me a lot of podcasts.
That's like one episode of my. That's like one dining review.
So thanks for being on the train with me.
Anytime, brother. Thank you for having me. You allow me to do what I do. So before we get into what a creative director of themed entertainment actually does, give me sort of the Reader's Digest condensed version of your history and how you got from probably the little boy that loved comic books and Disney to where you are today.
All right, let me see if I can encapsulate 40 years of my life into that. I grew up here. I grew up here in Southern California. So going to theme parks, going to Disneyland was a part of my upbringing. And then I loved comics. You know, I discovered comic books when I was 10 years old, and it was funny because I of all the things that I loved, you know, going to theme parks, movies, all animation, all that stuff, I never thought as a kid that there were people that did that stuff, because at the parks you don't see credits or anything, and at the movies we left before the credits, you know.
Not anymore, you know.
Not anymore. But like we'd bail, and then animation would like cut off and move to the next show. It wasn't until I discovered comics at 10 in a 7-Eleven when you open up the book and there were the credits at the front. And there were names of people, and I'm like, there are people that do this, like that write these books and tell these stories and draw these pictures, and that was my goal from then on to be involved with comic books.
Who was your go-to comic book hero?
As a kid, I grew up, honestly, I mean, I'm a Marvel guy now, but I grew up as a big Batman fan. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, because that was what was out there. That's what I knew. I mean, it was the Super Friends, but I loved Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and Detective Comics was the first book that I discovered.
Best Batman in movies or TV?
Well, that's a tough question. Best Bruce Wayne or best Batman?
You answer that however you want. The answer's Adam West, but go ahead.
And that's true. That's true, by the way. Best. Well, I got a soft spot for Michael Keaton, because that's movie came out when I was 12 years old. But that, it was all of that whole genre. I just fell in love with. And so, like growing up with theme parks and Disneyland, I got hired by Walt Disney Imagineering in 2005, and so I was able to kind of bring that love of the parks, to life and have that as a career.
So how you sort of just? I got hired by Walt Disney Imagineering, as it happens to everybody every day. Yeah. So how does that happen?
Well, I was working in comics, so I did achieve that goal. I got it doing really small press. comic books. Nothing that anyone in the box or on here or anyone in this convention has heard of. So I found out that there was a contest called Imaginations. And a friend of mine called me up and said, hey, there's this contest with Walt Disney Imagineering. I'm like, oh, I used to watch Imagineering that on the Disney Channel.
Right.
And I'll never forget the episode when I realized, there are people that do this same way. It was when they showed scuba divers going down into the submarine voyage. And I'm like scuba diving seems cool, but scuba diving in the submarine voyage with like mermaids and treasure seems way cooler. Like I want to do that. And then it all kind of came together. So I entered this competition. Through that, I was given an internship, and they liked my work, and I kept working at it, and finally became a concept designer after about a year and a half. And then I did that for 10 years, and worked on Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage was my first attraction that I worked on, and It's a Small World for Hong Kong. And then I quickly started working in kind of the geeky stuff. When Star Wars came into being, I started working on that. And then Marvel, of course, was the big one for me. Just my background in comics, my background, just growing up as a huge fan. And so when Disney bought Marvel, I'll never forget the day. I opened my computer, and it had the Disney logo and the Marvel logo. Christmas morning, dude. I'm like, this is a thing. And I remember shortly thereafter, at Imagineering, there was kind of a buzz around, like, what is this Marvel thing? Only Iron Man, Iron Man 2, and The Incredible Hulk were out as films at the time. And they brought in the author of the Marvel Encyclopedia, big thick book. And he went and spoke to all the Imagineers. And we all sat there, I'm like captivated. And he's talking about the Dark Phoenix saga, and he's talking, all this stuff, characters die. And I'm following, I'm like, yes, all that stuff, I love everything you're saying. And I looked around at the other Imagineers, blank faces. Like nobody knew what this man was talking about. I'm like, I got a career. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go after this thing, and I'm going to latch onto it. It's going to be my thing that I know better than anybody else here. And so that's what I did. And so from then on, just about every project at Imagineering that involved Marvel, I was involved in, at all various levels from, churro carts to full, parks, anything that we could come up with. We ran the whole gamut. And the big breakthrough was Iron Man Experience. So I pitched that idea, and it ended up coming into being. And through that, I got to be friends with all the Marvel guys. Joe Quesada, our chief creative officer in particular, we became really good friends because we're both baseball fans. And so, and he one day we were getting breakfast, and I said, hey, if there's ever an opportunity to be like the theme park guy at Marvel, like I would do that. Like I wouldn't leave Imagineering for many jobs, but I would leave for that one. And he said, that's interesting. Never thought I'd hear back from him. About 7 months later, he gave me a call and said, we'd like you to do a thing. And it was the job offer. So, went through the process, to the interviews and everything, and told him what my vision was for how we could bring Marvel into the Disney theme parks, and they hired me. So now I've been doing that for a little over 2 years. Which is awesome.
You know that you are living the dream of every 7-year-old boy on the planet, right? Like, because that's what you have that thing, whether it's comic books or movies,
yeah.
And someday I'm going to do that for real, and I'm going to take my ideas and I'm going to put them into the parks, and that is what you get to do. Like, do you understand the scope and the magnitude? I kind of want to hug you right now.
Bring it in.
Yeah, brother.
No, I fully recognize that it's a dream gig because I'm like a kid in a candy store, man.
And I see the way you talk about it.
Yeah, it's the coolest. Like it's the ultimate sandbox to play in. 8,000 to 9,000 characters, all of which I love, and then really to be at the very beginning of something with a brand and a group of characters that are so beloved now around the world, where characters like Loki and Rocket Raccoon and Groot are part of the pop culture zeitgeist, and people talk about them and they know who they are. Like, who would have thought 5 years ago we'd be talking about Rocket Raccoon and Groot, but here we are.
Or I'd have a 9-foot balloon in the booth.
Right?
Right.
I know. So to have that, but have all the untapped potential of what you could do in the themed entertainment space with those characters. So to be at the very beginning of that is so cool and so exciting. I mean, we're creeping in on 80 years of Marvel history, And so now like I said, to have Iron Man experience and Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, and we got Marvel Superhero Academies on the cruise ships, and much more
Keep
to
going.
come.
Yeah, keep
But every day we're dreaming, and that's the coolest part.
Well, it's the combination of sort of the two great storytelling companies, right? I mean, that's what these companies face is the heart of the story. It's part of the reason why I love Spider-Man so much, because I love the heart. Peter Pan is such a Peter Parker.
I love
and
Peter Pan.
Right, so do I. I can't come out there. Is such a relatable character. So you talk about this vision of, pardon the accidental pun for vision, this vision of bringing the Marvel experience into the parks. I'm not asking specifics, but what is that vision? What is the sort of the thing that you wanted to do to say, this is what I want to bring to guests who are coming to Disney World, who are used to a certain type of experience in the parks?
Yeah, I think part of it is understanding the way we tell the way we tell stories in the parks, which is it's a long-term play. Comics and comic book continuity is incredibly volatile by nature. When you have 20 to 25 comic books every week, we're grossly changing things each and every week. Costumes change, characters die, they come back. It's part of comic books. And then even in the films, I mean, now we're cranking out 3 films a year. They've got to radically alter things. They're going to alter costumes, they're going to alter worlds, things blow up, all that stuff. That's part of it. In the world of theme parks, it's not that. And I said, so what we need is, we can't be beholden to what's happening in these radical, volatile continuities. So what we need to be doing is essentially creating our own story that feels authentic. If you only know the characters from the comics, if you know them from the films, if you know them from TV, animation, whatever, everybody that comes into the parks has a different touch point to the Marvel brand. Some of these films are PG-13, so little kids might not be seeing them. Some of the adults might not be watching, some of the animation that's on Disney XD and things like that. So we have to create stories that are relatable and work for the entire family. And part of that is, not to create an alternate mythology or anything like that, but create one that can exist independently away from them, and then in true Marvel fashion, connect everything. And so one of the things I love to steal from our head of Marvel TV, Jeff Loeb, he started saying in comic convention panels, he'd say hashtag it's all connected. And that's become a bit of a mantra now. And you saw that, I think, with Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, when the Avengers hatch, appeared. And suddenly the internet is a buzz about that thing, and he said, it's all connected. Like, there are teases in Iron Man experience for what happens in Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
I'm so trying to read your poker face as you're talking, because I know you want to say more, and you can't.
I do, because I'm excited about it, man.
Yeah.
And that's not a phony corporate excitement. That's a genuine, I'm pumped for what we're doing, and I can't wait for things to get announced and for things because we work so hard on them, and they become very precious to us. And so, like Guardians of the Galaxy, with Mission Breakout, I know there were people that were not thrilled with that announcement. I saw the internet, I get it. And
it has to be hard.
It is hard because you're excited, but at the same time, we knew that was going to happen, but we believed in what we were doing, and we said, let's just wait.
Like you said, long-term vision.
Right, long-term vision, and know that we're doing something that we believe in. It's a story that's authentically Marvel, that will resonate with people. They're going to have fun. It's going to be different. It's going to be loud and comedic and all of the things that you expect from Guardians of the Galaxy, and people will have a blast. And sure enough, people are. And so it's, but working with the Imagineers is amazing. And they're amazing storytellers in their own right. And so, it's a beautiful thing to have this kind of collaboration of everybody coming together.
And I think Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout is an interesting attraction to have sort of be the first major footprint in the U.S. theme parks, right? Because Guardians of the Galaxy 5-6 years ago, 95% of the people in this room probably didn't know what a Star-Lord was. It was not the most popular, iconic comic book, and then all of a sudden the movie comes out, and now they are sort of part of our culture. So I think the interesting thing is that sort of being the initial foray into bringing the characters into the parks. Again, how do you create an attraction that is going to be accessible by everybody who is not necessarily a comic book nerd or had seen the movie 11 times and owns it on Blu-ray like this guy?
Yeah, we have to, we kind of have to assume you know nothing, that you don't know who these characters are. Because like I said, some people maybe haven't seen the films, you know. I mean, most people I think have and are at least kind of starting to be familiar with who they are, but we have to assume you know nothing. So when you walk through that, past that marquee, we have to teach you who are the Guardians of the Galaxy, who is Tanular Tavan the Collector, what is your role as the guest, you know, in the experience, because that's another huge paradigm shift for Marvel. When we create comics or films or TV shows or whatever, you're immobilized in your chair watching this, and we get to decide where you look, and we get to decide how the story unfolds and the pacing and all that. As you well know, in a theme park, you can look anywhere, you can do anything, you can, you know, that it happens at your pace, and especially when you're not even waiting in line, you're walking around, and you have to have a role. So for the first time, the characters have to acknowledge you, and you, the guest, are the protagonist of the story. Rocket needs your help because his hands don't scan; he has little raccoon hands, and so that's a shift. So I mean, you think about any attraction, whether it's Space Mountain or whatever, it's not about what's happening in space. It's about your adventure riding in that rocket ship through space, and that is what I love about theme park storytelling, is that it's about us. And so the Guardians of the Galaxy themselves are actually supporting players to your own story.
Yeah, I mean, the word immersive experience is really starting to become, you know, the hallmark of new attractions, because you're right, you're not just going through on Snow White's scary adventure, it is your adventure. You know, we see that very much. I think an amazing example of that is Flight of Passage in Pandora, which is an attraction that I use the term breathtaking not lightly. I mean, I cried when I walked off that thing, because I walked off and I said I flew. And that's what I'm starting to feel when you get off these attractions. And I'm hearing, and I haven't been on Mission Breakout yet, I just got here, but I'm hearing it's that same type of fun thrill ride that you have in the films.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we looked at the films, I mean, we of course know them very well, but you know, the comics and everything, I think we said it needs to have the action, it needs to have the humor, and it needs to have the music. Those are kind of the three core elements that have to be there to really call it a Guardians of the Galaxy experience. And all of those things, I think, are present in this attraction. It's got to be genuinely funny. And so, you know, the previous attraction, you know, Tower of Terror, you know, was about suspense and mystery and scares, and that's really not a Guardians story. So what we had to do was go, all right, we're not going to do that because that does that very well. So we're going to embrace these other things, right? And so rather than building that suspense and then doing the inevitable, you know, dips and drops and all that stuff, we are going to immediately shoot you up the tower, and right out of the gate, you're going for it. And so it's that high octane energy that the films bring. It's that irreverence that they bring, which was really fun to design. Just a blast in the room to come up with the story with the Imagineers. And Joe Rohde is a brilliant one. He's just been, you know, awesome to work with. Somebody who's, you know, Joe is really not a Marvel expert. But that's what you know what we bring to the table. But he is an amazing student of things, and he wants to learn and he wants to understand, and he gets very serious and passionate about it and starts, you know, doing his Joe Rohde thing. And
that's the best Joe Rohde impression.
Yeah, I can do one. Yeah. And but he's been great. And I remember, you know, shortly after, I think it was 2 Comic Cons ago, he knew that we were going to start doing this thing, and he kind of locked himself away, you know, for a while. And I reached out and, you know, said, hey, I'm here for you if you want to, you know, talk Marvel. And he said, I just need to kind of internalize it. I'm like, all right, cool. And he kind of locked himself away for about 3 days, and then he came, you know, 3 days to a week, something like that. And then he came out and said, here's what I think Marvel is. And I'm like, yeah, that's it. Like, that's the DNA of Marvel. And so he got it. Like, he's just awesome. And he went back into the 60s and read, you know, Jack Kirby stuff and Stan, you know, and read everything from those guys so that he really understood where our roots were. And so it was awesome to see somebody do that deep of a dive.
You know, it was neat because, again, not having been in, and unfortunately my son is not here. He just happens to not be here the one time he should. He's incredibly excited to see the Mission Breakout thing, and all he keeps talking about is, you know, and they wrote it yesterday without me. I'll forgive it.
Do I get it? Amazing. That's awesome.
Now my daughter's 13. For her to go wide-eyed and say it's amazing,
That's great.
But they loved. He was so excited about, like what we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy, the film, the details in the collector's room, and the fact that maybe you might see a Figment up there. All he wants to do is go to the gift shop and buy, he wants to buy the Cosmo, the dog, and he wants to buy, what's the other one?
Howard.
Howard the Duck. He wants to buy Howard the Duck.
First, to my understanding, first Cosmo and Howard plush ever made available. But you know what? I know it's become a little bit cliche to have the gift shop at the end, but the gift shop at the end only works if the attraction works. Because you have no desire to want to bring that home with you if it's not a great experience. But if the attraction works and the storytelling is right, then you want to keep that going, and that's when that cliche really works well.
And the attraction seems to work. And again, I'm not asking anything that you don't want to potentially volunteer, but as a theme park fan, as a Marvel fan, I get excited when I see that in terms of my mind. All of our minds start to wander as to what might be coming next to Disneyland, hopefully Disney World, Disney Cruise Line. When I went through the media preview of the ship when they had the Iron Man experience, the guy was talking about it. I'm like, no, man, I want to suit up. Like, I obviously meet the height requirement or lack of height requirement. I'm like, let's do it, man. So we're excited for what is coming. Again, I know you can't say that. I'm not trying to ask, but we hope that is the first of a continuing immersion into that Marvel. Look, when you hear things like Star Wars Land, that's what 9-year-old Lou Mangello always wanted as a kid, was to be able to walk through that portal. We were hoping to have that same where I can walk through a portal and I can be in a Spider-Man comic, literally and figuratively, like be part of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie for this younger generation.
Yeah, no, I think that's what I mean about we're just getting started. That's part of the fun, is dreaming about what's coming. And we've already announced we're doing an expansion to Hong Kong Disneyland. They have really received Marvel incredibly well over there. Just we have summer events. We've got Summer of Heroes here in Anaheim. We had a Doctor Strange character experience out at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and so we're starting to see these little things around.
And Star-Lord and Groot at Hollywood Studios.
Oh yeah,
killing it out there. Yeah.
No, that's all part of. We are literally just getting started, and so I think you're going to be pleased with things that we have in the works. Believe me, I wish I could tell you everything, and because I would love to tell the world, because I'm excited for people to see it, experience it, and hopefully get excited about the same things we're getting excited about. So stay tuned. That's what these expos are for, right? Is to give you some sneak peeks and cool stuff. We have our Parks and Resorts panel tomorrow, so we may or may not be talking about some new stuff. So go there. That's what's awesome, man. It's like we all want to talk about it. Yeah.
And I can see you're bubbling over with joy. Maybe we need to get you back here tomorrow at some point to recap some of the things that we.
I'd be happy to.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about it because obviously the world is going to be talking about it. But one of the things I have loved, and I think you sort of hit on it, is that these announcements are not happening to a room of press. They're not happening necessarily, online. You are sharing these things live and in person with your most diehard fans that have been sleeping outside for 2 days because the Parks and Resorts panel is the most important thing in the world.
Well, I 100% appreciate that, because if I wasn't sitting here with you, I'd be there.
Right.
Yeah, because I've been there. I've sat in the Hall H line and slept in the Hall H line for San Diego Comic-Con. I've done all that. I'm a fan myself. And so I fully appreciate the love, the passion, the devotion, I ever want to know. So I'm right there with you. So there's great.
That's for you. This is all for you.
I think that's what's fun is to bring in the people that care. Nobody likes to tell a joke and have no one laugh. So when we share stuff about Marvel and what we have coming, in film, TV. Last New York Comic-Con, we announced Sigourney Weaver would be the villain of the Federal series. And that moment was tangible in the movie. That's why we announced it here. This is where people are going to lose their minds, and we want to lose our minds with you. And so, we're all fans, man. At heart. That's that's where it starts. So I am that 7-year-old, that's still dreaming and still wanting to do all these cool things. I feel very fortunate and blessed to do it, but to be able to share it with the parents who want to hear about it is just
So it's got to be so much surreal for you to be in a place like this where you go from being the guy reading online to the guy that people are reading online to see. I mean, it is. And so when you see that, and when you walk around here and you see fans of all shapes and sizes, of all ages from around the world, dressing as these characters that you sort of have now such an important thing in hand, how does that make you feel?
Humbled. I mean, honestly, it is super surreal. I never could have dreamed in a million years this is what I'd be doing. I'm so grateful for the opportunities that I've been given, and think the chips have fallen where they fell. But I like to think that I put in some hard work too. And it wasn't always easy. There was a lot of late nights, and sometimes sleeping in my office to get things done. Pulling out the fold-up thing I had in my. Literally did that at Imagineering. I can tell you how many nights I was there all night. Not necessarily working on a project, but trying to build up my own portfolio to show what I could do. I think you can achieve that stuff, but you got to put in the time too. You got to put in the work. But to see people that are so passionate about the things that we're creating is it's crazy to be on that side of the table. I remember going to my first convention when I was 12, and I waited in line to have Todd McFarlane autograph Spawn #1. That was my goal.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what a comic convention was, and that was what I wanted. And I remember he called me Bud, and it was like I want to be you, like I want to be that guy, and so like to be here teaching people how to draw Spider-Man. How did I get here, Lou? How did this happen? How did we get here?
Listen, it's
the coolest.
And that's the amazing thing is, now we have the tools and opportunity to sort of not have to wait for somebody to give you a chance. You're almost able to do it yourself by doing these things and sharing. Look, I've met so many people today that, from Disney Creative, that he was a fan first and had a blog and was creating all this content, and Disney came out to him and said, hey, we love what you're doing, and now he's living this dream. So if you're the kid, you're the guy, you're the girl in the audience who's like, I'm a huge Marvel fan, and I do it. And I know there's sort of no direct route, but what sort of advice would you give to somebody who says, I want to do what you do, man? Like, how do I do it?
At least let me do it for a little while, and then you can take my job. No, I would say you gotta do what you love, and become really good at that thing, and also be willing to be honest with yourself. You go, am I there? Am I at that level? Is it something that's achievable, or do I need to maybe find my niche somewhere else? I think there's some self-reflection, some honesty that needs to come through that. But I think if you have something that you love and you do it enough and you want it bad enough, you can do it. I know that sounds like kind of cliche, but it's true. Like, especially now. I remember taking my portfolio and waiting at conventions for hours for people to look at my book, only to tell me, get out of here, kid, you got no future.
Do you go back now and go, sucker?
No, I work with those people. So I got to be nice. No, it's you just got to keep after it and keep even when people tell you that you can't, and hopefully have people in your life that can be honest with you. I remember growing up, my mom thought everything I drew was perfect. Loved it. Refrigerator, all that stuff.
If she put it in the garage, maybe she didn't love it.
She still has it. Like, she kept all that stuff, and but that, as cool as that is, and it's nice to have the pats on the back. It wasn't until I made a friend in junior high, and Chris Barkley, wherever he is, he told me the people you draw look too stubby. The legs are too stubby. I was like, but my mom says everything I draw is great. And he was a huge comic fan, loved the X-Men. He's the one that actually brought me into like Marvel fandom as a kid in junior high. It was through the X-Men cartoons and the books, of course, were introducing Bishop at the time, and so I got really hooked on that. And anyway, I considered him to be kind of like, he knew everything about comics, right. And it was my goal for Chris to really like my drawings. I needed to have that person in my life that said, you need to be better. And always trying to get better and better and better and keep trying to improve and impress the Chris's in your life.
So obviously, other than getting the role of a lifetime role, what was sort of that one like OMG like dream come true moment in your career? Was it meeting somebody? Was it seeing something come to fruition? Was it getting some sort of collectible? What was that like incredible wow moment for you?
There's been a few. I think probably the biggest moment for me was when we opened Iron Man Experience in Hong Kong. So I'll never forget when that idea was born. I was literally on the train on my commute, and we had been talking about bringing Star Tours to Hong Kong, and they had told us that Star Wars doesn't really resonate here because they didn't grow up with it the way we revere Star Wars here in the United States. But we really like Marvel and we really like all that, and it dawned on me in that train ride. There's nothing sacred about like a simulator having to be Star Wars. Like, why couldn't it be Marvel? Because we'd already done a lot of work on a Star Tours version. And so that day I went in and to the creative director that I was working with at the time, Robert Coltrane, and I said, hey, I have this idea about a Marvel simulator ride. And I pitched it to him. He's like, that's really cool. He's like, let's make a board of that. So we made a creative, because we had a whole other presentation that was going to happen that day with other Marvel rides that we'd been pitching. And we pitched it to the portfolio leader of the Hong Kong Disneyland portfolio, Jolene Cicero. I don't know if you guys know who that is. And he said, that's a really cool idea. Let's make that like a dark horse. We'll bring it out at the end. I said, all right, cool. So we were pitching to Tom Staggs that day. And we went through a number of different, ride pitches, and they were okay. They went cool, and they said we have this other little dark horse idea, and we brought out this board of a Marvel Universe, simulator ride, and everybody, it just kind of hit that button that sparked a bunch of different ideas, and that ultimately became Iron Man Experience. And I actually got to go to Hong Kong and pitch it to the government there in like a secret SHIELD facility. It felt like. And it was crazy even doing that. Sorry to be long-winded about that. But when we were pitching to the Hong Kong government, they, I had to wear a suit, like I couldn't dress like this. And they said, and you can't stand up, because I went through this whole pitch. At the time, it was an Avengers ride actually, and I had this whole thing where I would do all the character voices and growl like the Hulk, and I was very animated with this pitch. And they said, well, you can't stand up because you can't be physically higher than them. And I was like, okay, so I got to sit in my chair and do this. And they said, and don't expect them to react because they're not like fans. They're not going to get excited about it. So I said, okay. So I'll just go through it. And they said, they're all going to be like poker faces. So I kind of went through it, and there was a moment in the ride where Thor was going to show up. And I said, oh, and then the lightning starts to crackle, and the thunder starts to roll, and that can only mean one thing. And the head of the government goes, and I'm like, yeah, Thor! And from that moment, they were all into it. Like I've never seen, they got so animated, and he comes up to me afterwards, and he goes, I loved your story. I grew up reading Thor comic books as a little boy, and so, it was just another one of those OMG moments. Yeah. So anyways, long story short, we got to do Iron Man Experience, and to be there in Hong Kong with my wife, and to be there seeing it actually open was just surreal, man. It was the coolest moment. I'm like, this is the first step in what's going to be a much larger universe.
I will tell you, I speak on behalf of all 40-some-odd-year-old men and 7-year-old boys, like, we are excited for what potentially might be coming. So I have 2 final questions for you, because I know you're quick with time. One, what is your favorite Marvel film?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you want me to answer first?
Yeah.
Okay. My favorite Marvel film, I have a soft spot for Captain America, the First Avenger. And
he didn't say for Chris Evans. He said for Captain America, the First Avenger.
What? I'm a Captain
I love that movie. Joe Johnston, Rocketeer, Empire Strikes Back, everything that he's done, and the music of that film, and Haley Atwell as Peggy Carter. I mean, the whole thing. The World War II era. I love that look. so the aesthetic really resonated, and Red Skull is also my favorite villain, because I think many of our Marvel villains are actually pretty tough to do, because a lot of them, if you don't know who they are, they can look like heroes.
Right.
Like Loki, like we all know Loki is a bad guy, but if you just looked at Loki and you saw him standing next to Thor and you didn't know who he was, you could just as easy, he's got a green cape, you're like, he could be one of the heroes. But there's no redemptive value in the Red Skull. Like, he wears the Hydra logo, he's got the black leather and the Red Skull head, and he looks like the bad guy. He's kind of like Darth Vader in that way. Like, even if you don't know who he is, you know he's the bad guy. So I've always loved Red Skull, just the iconography of it. So all of that combined, Captain America: First Avenger was just awesome.
Wait till I find out about Captain America and Hydra and all that kind of stuff that's going on.
You know what? But I'm glad that people are angry.
Right. You want them to be passionate about it.
If you don't care, then we're not doing our jobs. You're supposed to get animated and excited and complain and talk to your friend. What are they doing? They're ruining Captain America. But I'm going to read next week because I got to know what's going to happen. We got you. That's the whole point. Nick Spencer is killing it on that story, and I know where it's going, and it's exciting. We have creative retreats, a few times a year, and I've been fortunate enough to get invited to these, and sit in that room, no joke. I mean, you're sitting with Axel Alonso, Joe Quesada, Brian Michael Bendis, Nick Spencer, Jason Aaron, these guys who are brilliant Marvel comic storytellers, and to hear them just like, Jason Aaron, the guy's a genius. I mean, he'll sit there and say, not a lie, he's a pretty, introverted guy. But then all of a sudden he'll go, oh, Jason, what's happening in the Thor book? He's like, we're going to do applause. Like, everyone just loses them, It's like just an amazing creative room to be in. And anyway, it's just,
Which of the upcoming films you're really most excited for?
I mean, they all look great. I think the one I'm the most excited for is Black Panther.
Yeah. It looks a very different feel to it.
Totally different feel. At the same time, it's very true to the comic book origins of the character. Sometimes we're fortunate enough to read the scripts, and you never really know, because these actors are so fantastic, and so they can take even what you think might be a mediocre script at the time, and they are so great. They can turn mediocre material into A material. But that script floored me. I'm like, I love this script, and I can only imagine what these actors are going to do with it. Ryan Coogler has such an amazing style. I loved Creed. So I think Black Panther is just going to crush.
I'm super excited. All the films. At first I was like, oh, I'm not really sure if I'm excited about Ragnarok, and then the trailer comes out. I'm like, he's a friend from work, like the best trailer ever.
But you know what? That line is so Marvel.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it. I mean, we talk a lot of times when we're trying to kind of educate our partners a little bit, about what the DNA of Marvel storytelling is. We frequently reference Thor in the first film sitting in the diner with the stein. He's like, the drink, I like it. Another, and he breaks it. Or he goes into the pet shop trying to buy a horse. Right? It's that juxtaposition of this fantastic thing happening in a very ordinary world, and that's Marvel.
Which is part of the reason why I love Spider-Man: Homecoming, and I love people like, I'm like, my God, Tom Holland is Peter Parker, and Michael Keaton, he obviously likes bird roles. He's like Batman, Birdman, and Vulture, and I think he was like, right?
But he's amazing.
But he was such a sympathetic character. You wanted to hate him when
no spoilers.
Yeah,
not everyone's seen that.
All right, no spoilers. But Michael Keaton's Vulture, just so you know. But it was an amazing, and I think it was really true to the comics. And I think.
But you know what some of my favorite moments of that film are? I mean, because the
very last line.
Yeah, but I mean, it's my favorite. I think my favorite moment is Peter Parker sitting on a subway train as Spider-Man, mask pulled up, talking on a cell phone, or eating a sandwich. Like to me, that's so Marvel. Like we know that we can, we have the ability technologically to make him look like he's swinging on webs through the city. But that heart of it, and Joe Quesada loves to tell the story that he went to Stan and asked what the secret sauce was in creating a Marvel character, and Stan actually told him. He said, if Spider-Man is standing on the precipice of a building and he jumps off, that's cool, but he's kind of just a red and blue suit. But if you know who Peter Parker is, and you know what he cares about, and you know he's trying to, you know, take care of Aunt May, and he's trying to get the girl, and he's got all these problems, and now we know who the guy in the suit is, and then he jumps off that precipice of the building, we're in that suit with him, and we care. If he falls, or whatever happens, or somebody attacks him, and so that is the secret sauce, it's not the costume, it's the humanity inside of it.
And I think that's one of the things I loved about Homecoming was it was not a gigantic blow-up kind of film. It was about the characters that you fell in love with, and I think again he's such a relatable one. Excuse me. Balloon guy, bye-bye. John Reed from EpicBalloons.com.
Amazing.
Give it up. Group, baby group. They're awesome, man. Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate you. Yeah, like who would have thought 5 years ago that you'd have a giant balloon?
I didn't know balloon sculpture was a thing. That's a fantastic.
He is an artist, and that is his medium.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and he's a fan. I mean, obviously, this comes from him just being a fan first. So.
I love it.
I'm one hand, I'm thrilled that you are here.
Did you have a second question? What was
I
it?
do, but it's sort of. So you just did a presentation earlier today.
Yeah.
Where you taught people how to draw Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know what presentation I missed today? Teaching the guy who can't draw how to draw Spider-Man. Can you teach me how to draw Spider-Man?
Sure.
You were teaching the unteachable. My daughter's the artist. I have zero artistic ability.
We'll have her teach you.
She probably could. Give me that pad right there.
Oh, you really want to do this right now?
Are you allowed to? Yeah, can you?
You sure? This is not very entertaining live TV.
All right, so but I want to see how, all right, I'll hold this for you. All right, 2 hands, I'll hold this for you. All right, here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to sit over here with you.
Okay, so you can apply this to not just drawing Spider-Man, but any character, really. So what I do is I always start off just with a basic circle, and typically I do this with like pencils and things like that. So
just so you know, this is a way for me to get you to draw me a Spider-Man without actually asking me to draw me a Spider-Man.
Shameless, I get it. So what I do is I kind of divide his head in half. So I'm going to have him kind of looking off sideways, and then but it all starts with circles. So I love you mentioned Tom Holland, but I love that kind of teenage Spider-Man. So when I do that jawline, if it's Captain America or Hulk, he's got that big strong jaw and chin. It's kind of, with Spider-Man, that teenage Spider-Man, you want to do it a little thinner chin. And what's great about art and comics is there's no one way to do it. It's like whatever you want. So I draw his neck a little thinner, right? So some shoulders, little collarbone lines. I'm doing this very quick here, so bear with me. For that center line, I draw I continue all the way down, and then divide the whole face in half. So that's one of the secrets too with art is where the eye line is. I think a lot of people who are learning look at a human and go, oh, I see the forehead, and your eyes are higher up on your head, but they're really not. They're right in the middle of your head. So from the top of your head, they literally sit right in between the bottom of your chin and the top of your head. I mean, I'm sure there's various iterations of that, but if you saw an actual human with eyes up here, it would look really odd.
Now I'm measuring between your eyes.
Man, you getting all this? Oh wait, come over here. No, come here. Marion. Alright. Go draw right on there.
My daughter's the artist. She's the artist in the family.
Alright. Oh, that's
okay, so basically I just like to figure out kind of where the eye line is. And not that it's as important for Spider-Man because it's behind the eyes.
It's zoomed in.
But then I use that to then create kind of that teardrop, eye shape.
So the Spider-Man eyes have changed over the years, right? Sometimes they're big, sometimes they're narrower. Is this sort of reminiscent of a certain artist's interpretation of the eye?
Well, I mentioned Todd McFarlane before. So Todd drew those big Spider-Man eyes. So I think I tend to gravitate more towards that. But one of the things I love about the suit in Homecoming and in Captain America: Civil War was the articulated eyes.
Did you see the mask? Did you see the little toy mask that they have where the eyes open?
Oh yeah.
I have to get one of those.
Yeah. But that's something that those articulated eyes is something we've done in comics for years because it allows you to show some emotion in the character who has no face. And so being able to show him surprised or whatever and now to do it in film and see it in real life and to have a practical way in which it functions is awesome. So then I take it and I essentially create that. So I'm doing this fast here. So that line we did down the middle, that's eventually going to become part of the webbing. And I color this in. I like to leave a little bit of a highlight, kind of a lip on. So there you have the eyes, right? And I'll tighten this line up a little bit. In terms of the webs, so typically he's got 3 lines that kind of extend off of that center. So where you drew that, where the middle of the face met and the eye line, there's a little circle right there. Everything kind of builds off of that. So typically there's 3 lines here, and then 4 go across the bottom, and then one usually one or however many you want, doesn't matter. And then I continue those lines down the neck. And some people draw more, like I could maybe do another one here. You start to see it kind of come together. And then, for somebody who's learning, so if you want to learn for the webs, I draw like a really light circle, like almost around his whole head, like that. And when you make the webbing, there's an arch to the web as you connect from line to line. Never have the arch go away from the middle. The arch has to be facing towards the middle. If it goes away from the middle, it looks like he's got a flower, like a repeating flower face.
Daisy man.
Yeah, which is not. It could be a fine character, but so then I just kind of start connecting the lines with that inverted arch to really create that web. Kind of following that circle guideline that I created for myself. And like I said, there's no one way to do this, but this is how I do it. And just keep going. And the time you save it not having to draw Spider-Man's face, you spend drawing webs. And then usually I give like a little bit of dimension to the character. So like for a basic drawing like this, I'll just do a little shadow underneath his chin. Kind of helps him pop off a little bit. There you go. There's a Spider-Man head. Oh, you got to do the logo. So it's not complete until you throw that in there. Basic. Kind of a classic Spider-Man logo. I know there's various iterations of it, but we'll do the kind of a traditional one. But yeah,
I'm a classic guy, man. So
yeah. So if you go back and look at like the old Steve Ditko stuff, you see the eyes be a lot smaller. But what Steve Ditko did was always draw him very gangly, which I love. I love that kind of gangly Spidey. So anyway, there you go. There's a Spider-Man.
that is awesome.
Cool.
Well,
That is awesome. He's my best buddy in the whole wide world.
That's not self-serving.
No. Mad Hatchers come out.
Let's see.
No, you have to show them.
Let's see. I'm not. Yeah.
That's great.
Look, that's great.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I don't know where you get your artistic ability from because I
not for
stink.
you.
It's not. I admit it's not for me.
How old are you?
Show it up.
13.
13.
See? She's gonna take my job someday.
Show it.
And what's the best advice? Just keep drawing, right?
Keep drawing. Draw everything. Draw the weird people that you see. I love drawing weird-looking people. That's the best. Because pretty people are just too normal. Like I love like all kinds of shapes and sizes. Big, skinny tattoos, all that stuff. And draw cars, draw animals, draw buildings, draw balloon sculpture, anything. That's part of it. And I think that's what I loved about comics. And drawing comics was I got to control the whole world. So I was the director, and I didn't. I did a little bit of animation in college, but it was so locked in on like one thing. But like comics, I loved because I got to draw the whole piece and decide what it looked like. So just keep drawing, and he's going to tell you it's all great, but you got to go find friends who are going to tell you, oh no, that stinks. You got to do this and this and this, and then you'll get better and better and better and better.
That right here is worth the time coming to D23 Expo. Brian Crosby, my best friend in the whole wide world. Thank you so much, brother. And listen, I would love for you to come back tomorrow after Parks and Resorts and talk about all the stuff that you know that we can't wait to hear tomorrow.
All right, yeah, sounds good.
Thank you.
All right, yeah, anytime.
That was awesome.
I know.
That was
All about you.
this. A 7-year-old Lou Monjo, don't touch my Spider-Man. I could talk to that guy about Marvel and Marvel in the parks all day long, and I cannot wait to hear what tomorrow is going to bring. The little button goes up. There you go.
Thank you. Oh, wow. You have a hot mic, baby. Sorry. This was all self-serving.
This was completely self-serving.
This is like, let's have Brian here so he can draw me Spider-Man. Okay.
When I heard that he was drawing Spider-Man today and I missed it,
Yeah.
I'm like, I wasn't going to actually draw because mine would, Mary, where's yours? No, I want yours too. No, come on. We're going to auction it off.
She wants to keep her art. Come on, artists are a little protective of their work, except for those that are self-serving.
That's mine. I need to get a frame for that thing. That's going up in my office.
I can imagine. So, have you gotten to that point where you're ready to show off your Spider-Man underoos that you have?
I am, but that's going to come. That's in the post show later on tonight.
Is that Sunday? Sunday.
So wait, I have a question.
You have a question?
For you.
Okay.
For you.
Uh-huh.
For any of you. Tomorrow is the Walt Disney Parks and Resorts presentation, which I think a lot of people are shaking their heads. That's why you're here, right? What are you most... Come closer. It's okay. What are you most excited?
I will tell you that a lot of people think that he does, but he doesn't. It's okay.
What are you most excited for? What are you hoping to hear talked about tomorrow?
I think I'm most excited to hear maybe about some plans for Epcot in the future. I think they're...
What would you like to see in Epcot?
What would I like to see?
More food? Okay, I'm with you.
Obviously, yes. That would be great. I think a greater presence of some of their newer acquisitions would be really cool.
I.e.
Marvel maybe would be great.
In Epcot.
Future World.
World Showcase? Okay. Anybody else? What do you like to hear? What do you want to hear tomorrow? You can just bark it out. Just yell it out. You can go under the table.
I want a new Illuminations.
I know nothing, said Sergeant Schultz, but I would expect that will be one of the many announcements that you are going to get.
I'm hoping
tomorrow.
Because I think it's about time. Don't you? I mean, it's been there for how many years now?
More than 25.
Illuminations?
Yeah.
Try again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Really. What are you looking forward to?
And then the action.
Wait, what's your name?
Nicholas,
Nicholas what?
the coolest woman.
Didn't I hear you on such podcasts as the live review of Satuli Canteen?
Yes.
All right. What do you want to hear tomorrow during the Epcot Center during the Parks and Resorts presentation?
They get the Imagination Pavilion right.
Wow. Out of the mouth of babes.
I know.
Well, listen, I think there's...
seat
I'm okay right here.
Okay, just want to make sure, because you were all about your little seat.
I wanted to get closer to Brian, so...
Oh, well, of course.
It was so awkward he was still here.
How did you get out of the booth without drawing me something? Oh, no. No, I'm totally kidding.
Awesome. I'll see you later. Thanks. He's awesome.
I know. You as Spider-Man. You own him.
He doesn't podcast anymore, right? He used to do the Josh and Cross.
He was really good, too.
No boy, right? Too bad. That was good stuff.
When you put a name tag on,
I know,
you kind of have to
I
be
know.
quiet.
Anybody else? What are you looking forward to for Parks and Resorts tomorrow? Zootopia. Where? In Animal Kingdom. Are you wishing? Is that no? You know something? Hey. What do you want to see?
I want to check if there's going to be a Brazilian pavilion in Epcot. There's a lot of people talking about. Yeah. You're going to love the food.
And the food. That would be the best. That would be the best
The
attraction.
food. Yeah. A lot of Brazilian food is very good.
I think, and I'm purely speculating, I think you will get an expansion of World Showcase. I think you're going to get a new attraction in Future World. I think you're going to get something in the Interventions area. I think that you are going to see... I think that I think my son is right. I think there's going to be a major change coming to the Imagination Pavilion. I think that Tomorrowland, I've been saying this for a long time on the show, I think Tomorrowland is ripe for an update.
It's ready.
And I think that you are going to see...
Should we be like putting these in a
You are going to see an experience unlike anything you've seen in the parks before.
Really?
In a place that you
Like what?
don't necessarily expect it.
Like what?
I am not going to say anything else.
Okay, which park?
There is some technology that that I think is going to be put into play that's going to bring a truly immersive, interactive, high-tech experience not where you expect it.
That's a lot to unpack right there.
I am not talking about Tron. No. I am not talking about Tron.
What do you think about that one?
You know what one of my favorite places in Walt Disney World is. You know what I'm trying to and I think you're going to see it. It will be. I believe you are going to see. I believe.
Okay.
Don't look at me that way. I think you're going to see an interactive experience outside the parks. Outside the parks.
Ooh, that's intriguing.
Outside the parks.
Which would be interesting.
I refuse to say anything more about that.
Is that something only for East Coast rather than West Coast?
I've said too much already.
Really?
I've said too much. There's a black security there that just pulled up in front of the booth. So I'm guessing. I'm speculating.
Someone's gonna like.
I'm speculating. Hey, brother. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. We met. That's right. I remember. You had a T-shirt, a white T-shirt. We met in Tomorrowland. What is it?
They were at Disney.
It's in Brazil. It's a Portuguese. I love Disney in Brazil. I have to get down to Brazil and try some of the food.
No, like it's gonna come to Epcot.
Go
and try the food there.
I'd like to go to Brazil. I want to go to Brazil. I'm
the
sure.
Brazilian steakhouse.
Project first to lose the belly, and then to go to Brazil.
We're all back, right? All right, brother. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Anybody else? Guesses, speculation, wishful thinking? What you'd like to see? Marvel in DCA. So let's just, now that Brian has left, we can speculate, because I think, obviously, that Guardians of the Galaxy is the first foray into what is going to be a much larger world, a much larger expansion. That Avengers manhole cover is not by accident. And if we were just to play sort of armchair Imagineer and realize that the tower, the two-ounce tower, doesn't necessarily belong at the end of Buena Vista Street, one might think that would be the beginning of maybe a new street that would be developed around that world and around that universe. And 7/48, almost 49-year-old Lou Mangello is skiing. I'm almost 49.
Oh, really?
And I totally own it. Yes, I'm fine at 49. So I think that you're right. I think that you're going to see a much greater presence out here. I think tomorrow the screams of joy that are going to come out of that hall are going to shake this building.
You were going to be excited. You were going to be a small child jumping up and down for several hours after that.
If you look, and Corey, I'm sure you saw in the box, like if you could see Brian's face, the guy was beaming with excitement, like he wanted to say so much, because you could tell he's a fan first, and what he knows, like because he even said to me, he's like, I wish we were doing this tomorrow, because I'm having a tough time like controlling what I can say.
He's excited.
So we're going to get him back here tomorrow.
Good.
And then he can just...
Because there's a lot of questions.
The box said to get him back tomorrow. Yeah.
Being very, very careful with his words.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Anybody else? What do you want to see? What do you expect to see at Parks and Resorts tomorrow? Bring back 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. On the list of top 10 things that will probably not happen, that's going to be close to the top.
Right behind people over.
Would you want to see like a James Mason 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea or a remake of 20,000 Leagues? He's not even paying attention.
You didn't even do your James Mason. You can do your James
I only get to do it once a day.
Well,
Contractually, I do it once a day.
here that you get to hear it.
They don't trust me. They don't want to hear my James Mason. Where did Scott Otis go? What do you want to see tomorrow at the Parks and Resorts? The return of the people mover.
That the people mover would be the only thing above 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
So which Disneylanders would like to see the people mover return? The guy with the sword. A lot of people.
Never happening though.
I don't think it's not in its current state.
Well, it's not just that. It's the.
But wait. So would you want to see the actual original people mover the way it was? Soren guy, you're saying no. What do you want to see? Okay, so you want to see a themed people mover type experience, almost like Rocket Rods, but like a themed experience? Something that we haven't seen yet. So you're Imagineer for the day, they've given you a limited budget, you're like, we're going to repurpose that track and create some sort of Incredibles themed experience. Okay? Video screens, customize your experience. That's not bad.
That'd be kind of cool.
That's not bad. Anybody else? Thoughts, suggestions? You have unlimited budget at Imagineering. Aladdin? So what would you like to see? Would you want to see an interactive experience? Do you want to see some sort of an Aladdin show? Do you want to just meet Aladdin? Is that what
I'd be okay with that.
Okay. Something with, I dig it. It's because Adam's from old school, so I kind of like it. Anyone else? Come closer. It's okay. You can step on the black. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's not a border that's not meant to be crossed.
Come on, it's okay. Come on, friends. Come on, you're good. You're good.
Come on, girl with the figment shirt on. Let's go. You can't wear the figment shirt and then not want to say exactly
That's
what's right.
an awesome shirt.
I've always thought that the scene from Monsters Inc., where they're going through all the doors, would make like an amazing roller coaster and some kind of ride experience where you're like riding and going through all of the different doors.
Wait a second. That's awesome, but that's awesome.
Wow.
Holy smokes, you're the best mountain leader ever. I love that.
That's huge.
That is, sorry, I'm easily distracted.
I think you should wear that.
That is very cool. We've heard rumor of a Monsters Inc. themed roller coaster experience. There was a rumor years ago that it was actually greenlit for Hollywood Studios. And then that idea was pulled because Toy Story Mania was so successful. Why bother having two e-ticket attractions right next to each other? But I think anybody would tell you that no great idea ever dies in Imagineering, so you never know. So wait, you're the dream finder and you're a Dole Whip guy. You're a Dole Whip guy. Nice. A food-themed pavilion would be nice.
I don't know why.
Anybody else thoughts, suggestions, what you'd like to see at Parks and Resorts tomorrow? You want to say, but you don't want to say.
You know, almost.
What is it? A Star Wars hotel. All right.
Yes.
So
I'm all in for that.
Who likes the idea of a Star Wars themed hotel? All right, wait. So come closer. Right. Let's take a little survey. Come closer. Who likes the idea of a Star Wars themed hotel? Who likes the idea of a Star Wars themed hotel at $600 a night? Well, there's not as many hands that go up when we say it that way. We're talking about some of the rumors that have been circulating on the internet, but a very sort of immersive themed hotel. Oh, look, it's the Rocketeer!
I know, it's awesome.
Oh my God, that's awesome. I'm talking to you, brother. You're the only guy dressed like the Rocketeer.
Then they gotta bring him in because Box has to say, come on in.
Yeah, man, come on in. You can't dress like that and not walk up in here. What's going on, Scott? I mean, Rocketeer? That's why he must be so hot in that.
That is like real leather.
Is it?
That is real leather.
Yeah, man, that's no joke.
That is no joke.
Did you make that? Yes, I did. That's awesome. That was awesome. How long did it take to put all that together?
I started in February with kind of just the bare white helmet, and then did all the finishing work, cut out the eyes, did the paint work, just spray paint, and then clear coat over it to kind of dull it down a little bit, and then limited edition.
So is Rocketeer like one of your favorite movies?
It is.
So what if I said they should remake The Rocketeer? What would you say?
You know, I'm kind of split. Like, I'm excited. I'd be excited for it, but at the same time, it's like it's a classic.
Not every movie needs to be remade.
Exactly.
If they can give you a trilogy out of a Rocketeer reboot,
Addington.
Jennifer Connelly's still in it? Okay, then I was like, oh yeah. As long as Jennifer Connelly's in it. Wow. By the way, I loved her in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Of course you did.
Who was she?
I watched the movie.
Who was she?
You know, ever so once. Wow. I'm glad that was your money.
I've always wanted to do that once.
Go ahead.
So who was Jennifer Connelly in Spider-Man: Homecoming? Who thinks Spider-Man: Homecoming was far and away the best of the Spider-Man films? Who thinks that Tom Holland, who's totally dreamy, by the way, is the best of the Spider-Man Peter Parkers ever? He's dreamy, and I am totally comfortable saying that. I have no problem. I have a little bit of a crush on Tom Holland.
Crush on him.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I am
good to know.
Comfortable in myself to be able to say that.
Good to know. I'll remember that for later.
So, I'm sorry, I talked about Tom Holland. I completely
lost Parks and Resorts. We were back at Parks and Resorts.
Parks and Resorts. We were talking about Wings Hotels. That's what we were talking about hotels, and I got confused by a Rocketeer guy. Sorry about that.
Squirrel or Rocketeer. It's a Rocketeer, Squirrel, whatever, Spider-Man, something.
So if there was, let's take this idea of a themed hotel. What other type of a themed hotel would you like to see in Walt Disney World or Disneyland? Indiana Jones, a Marvel, a Haunted Mansion. That comes up a lot. So would it be
Haunted Mansion would be amazing.
Haunted Mansion, dark and creepy?
Yes.
Or, yeah? Dune buggy beds? You know that there's some guy who made himself a dune buggy bed somewhere. He's probably walking on the show floor. So is Haunted Mansion, is it dark and creepy? Is it more funny? Is it like weird Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion movie? Said no one ever?
Oh no.
It's dark and creepy?
But dark and creepy, but I mean the whole Eddie Murphy part, that whole thing was just wrong.
That never happened.
That should never
Like
happen.
Cars 2,
So
never
we can
happened.
pretend it never happened? That would be amazing if we could pretend that didn't happen. But think about it. I mean, you've got the whole New Orleans or whatever theme you want to put on the Haunted Mansion at that given time, and you would have a mansion with different rooms that are themed to the different characters. How cool would that be?
She said the same bus could be like the receptionist behind the desk. I thought you were saying like on the headboards, like a Disneyland hotel, and they would sing to you to sleep. What other attraction would you like to see as part of a themed hotel in World or Land? Attraction, a film, a property. I like Indiana Jones. And I don't mean Indiana Jones 5, because that one didn't happen either.
But the Star Wars thing is kind of cool.
The Star Wars thing is kind of cool.
Think about, wait a minute, all right, I'm going to think.
But do you mean Star Wars themed the way it's been rumored in terms of almost like it's almost like being on a cruise where you are immersed in experience?
I like that idea. I mean, especially what we've heard so far about Star Wars. Especially what we've heard so far about Star Wars. It would be really cool to do that, because then you're in that land, on that planet. You would be immersed in that story, right?
Yeah.
You are so. Where are you?
Distracted. Squirrels everywhere. So, I had another question about. If they were to expand World Showcase in Epcot Center, what country would you like to see? Russia. Wow, there was like 2 or 3 Russians all at once.
Australia. I'm still Australia. I want trees with koala bears hanging out of them. That'd be awesome. Ireland. Guinness.
India. So I think India is very much a possibility for a lot of different reasons.
Raglan Road having a thing in Epcot. Ooh, I'm still on Ireland right now, because Bailey's, we can have Bailey's in Ireland. Yes, like Bailey's chocolate covered cake. Wow. We've been abandoned. So, a squirrel. What, really? Where are you going? And what are you doing? Seriously? Corey, come here. What are you doing? Lou?
What about Russia?
What do we do? Russia. Why not Russia? Right, it's vodka. Vodka in Russia, right? We could do one of the ice rooms you can walk into. Again, I'm going to go that direction. Sure.
What, and there's a method to my madness, what Marvel film are you what upcoming Marvel film are you most looking forward to seeing? Black Panther? Infinity War? What do you think is under the black tarps inside the booth? Come here.
It's okay. Come on.
It's okay. Come on, Ashley. Come closer. I don't bite.
Well, he does, but it's okay.
I know everything. So Black Panther? No. Infinity War. What do you think? So if you've been to the Marvel, who's been to the Marvel Pavilion so far? By the way, Chadwick Boseman was here before. He's right. He's a handsome fella. And he's Panther. What do you think is under those black tarps?
Maybe like a, you know, like what is it? I don't remember like what the exhibition is called, but maybe one of the ships, like in the, we'll say like in the first Avengers, when they, you know, they pick up everyone, and it kind of goes all like incognito.
A helicarrier?
Yeah, helicarrier. That is the word.
I would like you to remember the phrase.
I know. I think they're maquettes of individuals. I think they're characters.
I think so too.
I think they're characters.
I think so too. Who are we going to see? Who do you think? Speculate.
All of them? So, because you're a comic book guy, so come here. This is Corey, by the way, the keeper of the boxes, keeps the live broadcast going. You can applaud louder for Corey. And by the way, he is a member of our armed forces, so we thank you for your service. Infinity War is it is an epic battle, correct? Correct. So what sort of character maybe that we haven't seen before do you think might be hidden under the black tarp that we'll hear about tomorrow during the live action presentation? Who? Doom? Not the cool ladies video game, but you mean Doom the character.
I think they reboot Fantastic Four the right way.
So you think they're going to finally, after 4 tries, it's going to be the right Fantastic Four?
I think if Marvel can do what they did with Spider-Man.
If they did it with Spider-Man, they can do it with Spider-Man, they can do it with Fantastic Four.
A few tries. And Fantastic Four, the last one was just kind of dismal.
There's not a lot of movies that I say are unwatchable, but I was watching it for free on a plane and I turned it off. Like
that one was kind of bad.
Favorite Marvel movie ever? Talk it out.
Iron Man 1.
Iron Man 1. Civil War. First Avengers, Civil War. Guardians 2. I dig it. We Are Groot. What was? So what? Dark World. Interesting. How excited are you for Thor Ragnarok? When was that? Oh, come on now. You don't want it? Do you want what to happen last time to happen again? No. No. I don't even want to know where that came from or why. I thought you just took my phone. That's what I was afraid of.
Oh, that's a cape. Little Lou has a cape.
Oh my god.
Jello. Sit back, relax.
What does he move in his mouth?
He's got 5 o'clock shadow.
Where did that come from? Dude! The what?
He hasn't shaved in
20 minutes. She's so mean. She is so mean to me, right?
Mr. Who brought a puppet out for what? When?
Speaking of handsome fellas, that's Noah right there. What?
Apparently he's over there somewhere.
We're always near Noah. We're always near each other's booths.
I'm gonna have to. I think you request that. I think you like it. I think that there was a request to be next to you again this year from Lou.
We gotta get you back over here, man. Right now? Get her out of here. You're moving down the couch for Noah.
You're just afraid of this.
A little bit. I'm a little afraid.
By the way, is anybody?
Watch
Is
it.
anybody part of the nation here?
Wow. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you very much.
Love you.
Appreciate that. When he's talking to Noah, I have something that I'm going to maybe give a few of you, the nation. Do you have any proof that you're part of the nation?
Just remember where your allegiances lie, folks.
Stay a member.
Right. Part of the nation wants to stay a member of the nation.
So when Noah comes around, those of you who are part of the nation, please see Sarah. Be over by Sarah. Sarah, just wave your hand, because you're way over in that corner, and Lou's not going to be able to see you over there. So the nation, what was that?
Don't you worry.
Don't worry. This is brilliant, by the way. And I will let you have little Lou back again for a little bit. I'm sure little Lou will probably make a...
So, like, we love listening to, like, my mom and I, we love listening
let's not
to,
do it here.
like, your podcast that you do, like, with your wife and your kids.
They were just here.
Okay, so I thought that's what I was like, oh my god, that's actually now, holy crap. Okay, and I got a little shortcut, like, and your kids, so I
Oh, but thank God you didn't say
This
it in front of my
may
daughter.
actually be where I get beheaded in
yeah, like,
the
oh
booth.
my god.
Sorry?
Yeah, I need to have some this weekend.
Bring it in, sister.
I'm sorry.
Don't trip. How are you? In a Sunday tree? T-shirt?
I'm done.
Thank you. Okay.
T-shirt, yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to tell you, because, like, we think that you're people, like, so closer and, like, they're like, I'm so jealous. Foodies, and I've never been to Walt Disney World, but I'm
Stop it. You need to come out. We need to eat together.
I'm taking her to Disneyland for her first time. Like, we're going on Monday. So, yeah.
It is a nice day to go. It's be the anniversary.
Right, I just want to tell you that
Thank
really
you.
quick. We love you.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
All right.
So I see some of you at Coco posters. I assume you got those from a presentation. What did you see a preview of Coco? Did you see? You did. Was it awesome? How excited are you for Coco?
Absolutely excited to see the presentation. I got to see I was absolutely. I'm just excited to see what else.
And that is what this weekend is all about, is seeing what's in. Speaking of what's next in store, I love that he has his own theme music. How you doing, brother? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you know the face behind the work in that beautiful booth over there. He's like Cher. He just goes by the name of Noah. What is going on, man?
Good to see you.
It is good to see you too.
Yeah. Are you live online?
We are. We're broadcasting live right over there. We've got the Twitter wall going with hashtag D23 Expo Live. Is Corey keeping the box and keeping the conversation going?
Awesome.
It was good to see you again. Seriously, we're always knew each other, which is maybe by design.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
So what do you got going on in this year's Expo?
This year's Expo, we got a really great. Last 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we did an event at California Adventure, and it was the first launch of the Kid and Me / Disney Parks edition.
Nice.
So it's my character is on the rides, and it's a lot of fun. So debuting some of that here in the booth, so everybody can see it. We have the Star Wars as well, and then just launched in the Dream Store. We have my tribute to Walt, Steamboat Willie. So that's called Full Steam Ahead.
I think I saw you either drawing it live online or you did a video of it, something on Facebook. Yeah.
So I'm super excited about all that. It's so wonderful to come to shows and see everybody and hang out and relax.
Yeah. And one of the things I love, because I see you here, I see you at Flower Garden, Group Wine.
Yeah.
You are so great when it comes to people coming to the booth, not just to purchase your artwork, but you talk to them and you listen to their stories and you talk to their kids, and I think that's one of the things that is so. It's not just about they're not just coming for the work, they're coming for the artists themselves.
Well, I appreciate it, but it's like it's amazing when you're seeing people that you've been spending. We've been doing these events with Disney for 13 years.
Wow, has it been that long?
It's been that long. So when you start looking at how many events you've seen these folks, it's family. So these events are a great way for us to celebrate doing life together and celebrating the same artwork and culture with Disney. And it's wonderful. I mean, you figure how many memories we've all built together. It's really special.
So for those who don't know, how did you you know, I get the sense that you were probably a Disney fan first, but how do you go from a Disney fan who's ridiculously talented, by the way, to an artist that creates work for Disney and you get to see your work in the parks?
Yeah. So press pause on that really quick before I forget. Are you doing any charity things?
Yeah, man. We're probably going to. So some of the guys from the design group did some sketches for us. We may do something live online over the next couple of days. So
I have a sketch for you guys, as well as I have one of the Star Wars Boba Fett pieces. So we'll auction those off. So you just tell me when you want to do it.
Yeah, man. We'll figure something out in the schedule. Maybe we'll just do it live and see what. Because Corey wants to probably buy. Yeah,
we can go big.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
So but it started for me at 16 years old outside of high school. Started the company, then went into my 20s. And during my 20s, I had painted mermaids, angels, fairies, kind of anything and everything I could get my hands on. And then it got to an opportunity where I was sitting in a corporate Disney office, and they wanted to see what I could do. And they basically said, whatever you've done with your vibe of artwork, we want to see that, but we want to see it your style, but with Disney. And that is how it happened. I painted 6 images, and the 6 originals sold in just a little over a week out of California Adventure. It's when they launched California Adventure and Off the Page.
Okay.
And then after that, it was like, hey, what do we got here? And I said, well, what if we were to do? And that's when we started going into publishing and prints and putting artwork throughout the parks, doing events. Then that went into Vinyl Nation. Then that went into just like it went nuts.
I mean, that's, you know, you sort of live in the dream story for a lot of people that have this talent and passion for Disney and want to figure out how to sort of turn that, turn what they love into what they do.
Yeah. And the biggest thing that I would encourage, because everybody asks me that question, how do you do that? The bigger deal is to become your own version of Disney. Meaning, what do I mean by that? I mean, like, you coming up with your own original content that is so popular, because the world is begging for originality of something new and fresh they haven't seen before. So sure, we can celebrate Disney. I love, like, doing fan art, etc. But what really everybody's begging for is they want to hear and see your story through your characters, through your world. And you never know. That might get picked up. Right. That's what I'm saying. You never know. Like, it was, like, I've loved the career of what we've been doing forever. But the moment I started infusing and bringing the kiddie into that world, it was like everything went into like.
That's a personal passion project for you, right?
Yeah, the kiddie is the passion project for me. But what I love doing is putting you in the story. So if there's nothing better than that, because we all share those visions of, memories of sitting with your family late night, going on rides before the park closes, and getting scared by the Yeti, and like all of those. I wanted to bring that to life. And so the other exciting news that I can share, because we already did the deal and it's coming out, but we have a full figurine line of the Kiddie Parks edition.
Oh, no kidding! Oh, that's awesome.
Congratulations. No kidding.
Sorry, intentional pun. I totally meant to do that.
Right.
That is awesome.
So it's exciting.
What is that? What are those be?
I believe we're pushing and hoping for. We obviously would love to have stuff for the festival next year, but it looks like it's going to be sometime in 18. Yeah, but I mean, could not be more excited.
I'm sure, man. Listen, you continue to do amazing, beautiful work in so many, embracing the characters that we've come to know and love for so many years in such new and unique and beautiful ways. I've been looking at your mermaid and your Sally and stuff like that, and they're just spectacular.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. We're gonna when we're live walking around the booth, we're gonna come in and show some of your stuff. And
great. And then just keep in mind, stick around for whenever you're gonna start doing those we'll auction off a couple of those pieces.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, you're also very generous with not only your time, but with your contribution. You've done some past. Hey, man.
Thanks for the time,
brother. Appreciate it. It's Noah, everybody. Where can they find you online, by the way?
NoahFineArt.com or DisneyStore.com and search by Noah.
Will do. All right, man. See you later. It's frustrating when you have so many talented, artistic people come into your booth and you realize that you can't even draw Spider-Man. So, which I want to make sure that nobody has stolen. So. Anyway, all right, why don't we do this? I don't know what the schedule is. Why don't we take a break for a little while? Why don't we give everybody a rest? I don't even know what time it is. It's about that time. What am I doing? I'm hugging for 45 minutes. Listen, I've got 45 minutes of hugs left in me. You guys go get some dinner or a snack, and then we'll be back. And then whatever you do, guys, don't tell Becky what happened while she was gone. All right? See you soon. Bye.
Sorry. Oh, no, you're good. Maybe just give it over. Tell me when we're in your way. Y'all work or we're screwing around.
It's called a collector's item.
I need to grab my request.
Now I have a request for you. Taking that a handshake, button up the face, and a hug. Thank you so much. Normally I get along.
Yeah, I can do that too, but I can't get my cut on stage.
Everything Vera seems to be doing a lot of.
Not the face is all I have. The face is
Maybe the vocal
not the
cords,
voice.
not the vocal
Not the voice. Well, what's going to be left of it? I guess on the guitar. That's the same stuff for that king. So what was it? What was the line like? So you buy them straight from buy them to eBay and we'll just go up there.
After she's done.
Is there specific attraction? Is it just imagination? Only Expo. That'll be
Thanks. I'm so glad you look out for my well-being.
And what do you guys looking forward to seeing most? Like, is there something that you're expecting to see or that you want to see? I would almost bet dollars to donuts that the stuff that you have heard rumored or heard online, that's not it. It's not it. Something that I think is going to happen will happen. I'd love to see that. I'm going to try and
wearing my costume?
What's your costume?
I'm gonna be a version of Mad Madison. No, but I'm from Escondido. It's really hot. When we left, it was 105. So.
I will tell you, I don't want to
I can breathe.
You think that line will go today?
But I'm not wearing pants.
That is also this is not. This weekend it's sold out between Parks Resorts and the studios live stuff.
Where are you going to look at doing the live tomorrow? Just so we can get right in line.
And that's what I'm going to do. And the Parks Resorts until like 3 o'clock.
I'm feeling you are going to be really lonely here talking.
At least the parks lets out. Then you're going to see it.
That's when, oh my God, did you hear about it? If there's anything I want to see.
Yeah,
Yeah, they normally it's not a lock. They don't lock these. No electronics.
Oh yeah.
Normally it's
Movies does parts of it. I haven't gone to a full parts of it.
I don't want people to think that we're getting out of your way. Well, see, there's conversation going on here that I'm not allowed to part on, so it's their private conversation.
Hey! How's your day going?
Doing well. Better than the word. Hi,
It was about 6.5 hours of Nikki's in Glendale.
I was actually surprised. I got out under 300.
Was it worth it?
It was worth it.
Okay.
It was worth it. Would I do it again?
I noticed I said under, not
yeah, and you guys
a lot
go
under.
right there? Or did you?
Yeah, we went there.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So tomorrow is
half the time she's got one of the controller. I'm like, I'll go, push, I'll roll.
Yeah. All right. I don't know if I envy you or not right now. You got a whole weekend.
The things that they had they were all limited edition.
Yeah.
And they had ones tests.
I've got 13 all too. I have a teenager and a 2-year-old in the same year. I planned well. There's a special place in heaven.
And you're not going to get them anywhere else.
Correct.
Yeah.
It was just
been pretty good.
There's no way I would have ever.
I have one store for the tuber.
Oh, I would.
The problem was it was in his house, probably about this big.
Different stores.
And they had things on this wall.
Along with the air conditioner went out.
So we walked in there. They were only putting like 12 hours, but like it was a constant. I'm saying like
we're also small stores. We have a new one
they were
that
only
we're
like 12
almost done
at a time. So until somebody went out to go check out, like they wouldn't let another person in.
So we're in the middle of finishing up on negotiating. We're going to go from 1,500 square foot to
We try to just hit the Pirates, the Star Wars, because we're like, once those lines, I mean, they're not going to be 6 hours, I get, but even the half an hour, you're like, okay, why don't we just hit this other stuff? But you're probably going to hit them, like, they'll lighten up by the end of the night if you have the stamina.
It's hard to balance. Exactly. So I want kind of combination too. I've got lucky recently I picked up a young lady that loves to do the marketing side of it. But she's also my manager. So she's like, I'm going to do that, but I've got all this and that. So I'm like, well, we'll work on it hard to make 2 big hacks. Yes, exactly. Yeah, she's new out of college and stuff like that. So a lot of fun stuff, dude. It's growing and doing well. And Frida, my wife, we decided that every Sunday night we do this works Facebook Live event. And we're slowly. She's doing all the learning this summer. She teaches. She can learn right now. And then this fall, I've got a couple guys that want to do a comic book one. So we're going to try to put together a comic book thing with it. I don't know if it'll be a full podcast because Facebook Live is going to find out. And I'm learning my mistakes. Like I had promotions 2 nights ago, and I clicked publish. Then I clicked this one. I'm like, we finished the animation. I'm here with great.
Yeah, so the last thing they did was show a couple clips from the new movie Coco.
Oh, yeah.
And then at the very end, they brought out the boy that's going to sing in there, as well as one of the adult actors that sings the song Remember Me. And then they brought out a full mariachi band with dancers and all the aisles, confetti from the ceiling. That was the end of the show.
In the aisles, dancing.
Only the way Disney can do it, you know. It was like really cool.
And they had all the voice actresses that did the Disney princesses. They had them all come out. Like they would introduce each other. It was.
They had a special scene which will be in the new Wreck-It Ralph movie. And as crazy as it sounds, they're all almost equal. Yeah, you guys get what?
I'm gonna do him first and then.
Well, I'll just say, I'll get all three. If you want to get all three.
I'm gonna do one within the second, do one and one by.
Yeah.
One, two.
Tippy toe.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. I would ask for more. Alright, there you go. Yep. Ask them what time. Right there? Alright, right there.
My name is Tim Kaufman. I met you about 5 years ago. My wife and I were at 30th anniversary. You were in front of us. It was one of those things that we were just getting into Walt Disney. Yeah, great to see you. You guys have a great rest of the week. And this is my daughter Hannah. And anyway, so she's just unfortunate. My wife
It's true. And I always listen in.
That helps get the work done. So it gets work done. So anyway, but thanks. I was supposed to say someone else. On the elliptical and track speed boards. Yeah. So that's a good one.
Oh,
yeah, we did. I don't know if it was. Anything else?
Actually, the parking structure.
Yeah, whenever we park there, it's always like run up to the top this way. Hey, would you mind just quick picture? I would love to.
I can take it for you guys.
Just go.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. One more. You don't mind?
Yeah, of course.
All right, we'll get one more. Come on, Hannah, give me
Should I get on my team?
Oh my goodness.
I love that. Who said that?
Well, thank you very much.
Oh
my gosh.
Like it could be rock.
Well, anyway, thanks again. Thanks. Yeah, tippy toes. Just yell a little box. Just yell a little box. But okay, it makes you feel like on all the video. Sounds all on the video blogs and stuff. It's like a movie star. Tom Cruise was right?
You're much taller than Ford Feldman.
Yeah, I was thinking pretty Tom Cruise. Yeah, I'm just saying. Just remember that. Cool. Thanks, you guys. Thank you.
Quick snag, we're going to quick selfie.
Oh, she's a good selfie-er.
The next generation's got the selfie thing down.
Yeah.
I'm in the awkward in between.
My arm is not long enough regardless of what you're doing.
I was going to back in time for I really, if she didn't have that, I was going to fly in, be here today, put the park over and do the single company. Like the tickets over here for it. At the summer. Okay. You want to walk?
I'll go to the school. How about you push me?
You want to push me around?
Push me around. Oh, you can push me around for the next couple of days.
People have been pushing me around my whole life.
Good seeing you.
Dude, seriously? I'm lying.
Awesome, thanks.
Hey, how are you? It's as well. Wait a minute. I know you. I do. You're Morgan Allen. I
I cheated because I don't your face like a tiny little, and either connected on Facebook, or Twitter, or somewhere.
Just one.
Sorry.
4 a.m. So.
Which is longer than most people did. The Avatar room. Yeah, I would love to. No, you won't. Well, it's south, right? You know what? You just come down to the No. Oh, see, I was just about to do something and now. Oh.
Well, let me try your message.
Get racist.
Thank you guys so much.
Lou, I'm Freddie. What's going on, man? How are you?
She loves you. One guy lead you guys somehow. He brings a bunch of attention to our place, right? So that can't be a bad thing.
You got a girl back there. And how they like they're older.
Yeah, how about that?
And actually, when I came through the doors, I was so I'm excited everybody. You got the I wish I had a better movie. I did. I did. That's not a problem. That's not it. But so I still have it. So today I was like, look. Maybe you don't have it. Check out the so it's completely it's going to do not try to erase that. But I do have something to do. Dreaming of a podcast, doing my are you paying ASCAP to be my play or keep it short without this? So it's really keep it short without the contact.
No, we had an artist.
Not this was like yes. You're on your copyright. You're the right thing. At the end of the day, whether you're in the 27 seconds or 4 years from now, Oh, excellent. Everybody featured Lou. Oh, actually, I've been meaning to do something for you. I mean, I'm not a super fan to have anything to do, except for you actually my stuff, you know, what I need to do. But actually, I've been meaning to like sending you a drawing of Lou, knitting on top of Jello. And then I thought like that would be a really cool logo, or even across maybe I don't think it your way, but well, actually that really would work. If I go up there, we're really gonna. No, please, Becky. Por favor. Oh, I'm using this hand to really. We're in. Thank you very much. That was very thoughtful to take the time to. I don't give those away. It will be on my shelf behind me. I will tell you where it's going to go. So right now, you know what I'm doing. I'm going to run in my little Alphabet, Buddha Chicken and my Madame Cuckoo Pocket. My holy grail is left. Beautiful. Enjoy. God bless you guys. Keep it up. All right. Hey. What is this? Where's home again? Are you extending your trip a little bit? I always take handshakes. Not very happy with you right now. Tell me you gotta look at you have to sign it, like just write John Lasseter's name on it.
I love your mom 5 times.
Pictures where it didn't happen.
Let me put my blue beater in.
Oh, I want one of those.
And then he goes, hi. Hi, Paul. I bet.
What's going on, man? We just got out of the... Okay, so explain holy cow.
Y'all were in it, right?
But it's not like planes, like cars. Is it like so it's cars, but like it's cars, but in space.
But they're all monsters.
Oh, okay. So monsters.
Oh my god.
Oh, they showed it to you?
They showed it to us. Yeah. We were so It will be worth your ticket price to see that scene. Yes.
Oh, like, she's like the princess.
Yes.
Wow. And I know you, Ash. And I know you, and I'm not cheating on your thing. You were just, I can't tell you what I had at Starbucks.
He knows who's good.
It's a gift. It's a gift. And what else is going on? What else have you seen so far? You look tired already. Tomorrow might be a tough day.
Email or text message. And we got back to me. Definitely.
My life good. I'm good. That's all that I would be looking for. Just
So when I see your mom, she said that I said that.
So what's your
Dude, no.
You screwed it up for him. You screwed up the
I know.
Dude, I want to do the selfie, man. So,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're handsome and all. I get that, but
I think you're better.
dude, this is you made it.
I did.
I just.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I know. I don't know. Are you kidding? I'm meeting a princess. I was given the Louis Vuitton, so I'm using it. That is so much. This is your spirit.
Yeah, man.
You have a spirit. It's standing right there.
It's all fleece.
Oh.
How they did it in the movie, it's how I had to do it. Yeah, thank you so much. Oh, also, this is a Screen Actors backpack. How about that? Did you see the movie?
Dude, come on, man.
I know,
man.
right?
Amateur.
So, he's losing his first backpack.
Right.
He says, oh man, I need a new backpack. He gets him this backpack, and this is the one he loses in DC. Next time you see it, think of this backpack.
And I kind of like to say
I'm so sorry. He does not care. See what happened?
If I had my like all-time favorite, I'd be like,
The prince is just not.
I mean, okay, I'm sorry.
Really?
I mean, you're beautiful
my
and all.
spotlight will shine tomorrow. I promise.
I totally believe that.
Don't be upset if I post that one on social first. Just saying.
Can you just tag me?
What?
Do you tag me on social?
It's like the 6-year-old right now going, that is.
And I know exactly what it feels like.
So what is the,
Do you want to know? So you can do the. Okay, promise?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'm just gonna put this two on top of here.
Hey, don't tell him ahead of time. You know what? Girls have secrets. You just go. Okay, you just go ahead and have your
Yeah, you
secret
make us
there.
wait a week to hear the secrets. So.
I know. He's so bad at that too. It's like, and Becky doesn't know anything. It's like, really? My own secrets.
Because I was deciding between several costumes. It was a big commitment to get ready. You know, we did like a test run of it. So. I'll just wake up as early as I can and come later. Not necessarily. If there is a painting, I'll go to at 11. No. The costume one. But I heard that costume review with everyone in it.
When we walked off that day,
Your reaction.
I got a big wall.
I know.
I mean, he was holding the microphone. I have nothing. I can't.
His exact words, I think, were, and now Becky is.
Which never happens. I could not articulate. I could not make sentences.
Oh, I can't
It was
No. Trust me, I know. I used to work there at CRT, and then
wow.
I left like 2 weeks before opening. So I'm like, oh, if I had known.
Are you here?
No, we're actually up in Boston. So we're here for vacation. I know. But it makes going back 100 times more magical. So I can't complain. And we've never been out to the West Coast ever. So I was like, hold on. I kid you not, 3 days ago, I was like, I guarantee he's got a podcast from Disneyland. It was like 4 weeks ago. And I'm like,
I thought it was incredible.
Up to date.
We try to keep it.
Yeah.
From my perspective, we want to make sure that people know that we can be here. And we got the mind sharing to help people find questions. But this is my part. Because I'm from Seattle. And I live in Seattle. So I'm doing.
How long does it take to get down? How do you get here?
It's 2 hour flight. So it's really quick. 2 hour flight. Back and forth. It's better than the 6 hour to go to Florida and the 6 hour back. So
Yep. Definitely better.
So This is like strangest little bromance ever. No, you definitely straight. It's like, not even, because normally it's normally about the princesses is all like, oh, look at the princesses. And this time it was like,
Oh, I know.
It's like Jake Boyd.
Who's your, like, if you could meet any character?
Thor.
Really?
Yeah.
And we
I was George Lucas on the tweet.
I hear.
My holy grail. Chris Hemsworth all together in one picture. All
Put that on a calendar just every month of.
That's my happy place. That would be Christmas. And I'm married to a Chris. So
you like something about a Chris?
There's something about it. My Chris is a techie nerd Chris, so he's not that Chris. So that's okay.
But he's a Chris. He fits in.
But I wouldn't want him in the picture with the other. Because there's a there's a thing about that thing.
Yep. Don't you, I'm relatively new to the podcast, don't you cover or in charge of work for Emacs fans?
Yeah, so
Wow.
I'm the CEO of it. I've had it for going on 12 years now.
Wow.
And off my team, I have 100 agents nationwide.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to the team. All the girls and they all just so freaking know the Disney experience. This is your vacation. Let's take those children and make them feel like they're in fantasy. And of course, that gives me that wonderful experience to do things that we do. The trips that we put together that we get to go on. We're going to go to Tucson in September. And if we survive that, it'll be great. And for me, it's going to be the ultimate weight loss program for 2 weeks. Because white rice, China, too tired. I'm a very big eater. However, he's going to eat Scrubby. So this is going to be awesome. It's going to be like, you let people eat this? No, I'm starving to death.
No, I went on a trip to South Africa 10 years ago, so I had ostrich and zebra, and I was like, well, I'm only here once. I mean, but
tastes like chicken.
Everything tastes like chicken. Well, can I ask you a travel-ish question?
Absolutely.
We're going to Disneyland on the anniversary, Monday, right? We're only going one day. Is it worth it at all? Or should we consider upgrading to California Adventure and because we really want to do Guardians.
That's the thing. And you have to do Guardians.
How is
you
it?
guys are into the whole
Yeah.
thing, yeah, you have to. To me, it's probably the most brilliant thing they've done.
Really?
And to me, if I could do Radio Space Racers or that, I would do that.
Really?
Are you a fan of Tower Terror?
Yeah.
You would think, well, it's Tower Terror that's overlaid. It's an attraction and a party. You are giggling through the whole thing. It's not like Tower Terror.
So they put the Guardians humor into it. Heck yeah.
And each, you have 6 different sequences, 6 different songs.
Wow.
Every time you get on,
It's different. Yep.
Oh,
that's smart.
So,
yep. Right.
So lots of especially if have you ever done No. It's worth it. Would you pay attention because it's for 2 seconds? So she was just asking if we thought we were planning to do our complimentary soup for one day. We've never done it for cars. So I'm saying absolutely, even for just for cars.
So you're going to be here for one day?
Monday the 17th. I think they need to upgrade to do
So I will help you justify it. I would do it because I think Tarzan itself is worth going to see. Guardians for Adrian is worth going to see. The 17th is also Disneyland's birthday, so it might be a little crowded at Disneyland. You might not be able to do everything there. So if you just bounce back and forth, get your fast pass, and do your thing.
So if you have anything, if you packed anything,
Like it's not like the guys that have
That's wrong. You do it so much.
That's where I don't know if you saw the
That's incredible. I don't know how you came over, so that's That's commitment. That's total commitment.
You know, I took it off for like a minute, and Lou was like, "What am I doing?"
Spider-Man.
Yeah, come on.
He is a little bit obsessed.
Hey,
so.
that's cool. Nice to get the small
But tomorrow, I have to.
Table's my turn.
Table's my turn.
Oh, table's turning.
You know what?
Where and how much?
Exactly. I'm thinking the underoos are hidden. Inner Spider-Man.
I would, but we'd probably so grocery store.
Alright, guess what? It's 6:09, so we're going to go about 10 more minutes, and then we'll probably start happening. Cool.
Okay.
With the Floridians all bringing him in here because this is wrong. This is wrong.
Yeah, no, this is abnormal.
Look at it. This is wrong. There's so many levels of wrongness to the humidity here. It does not do this. This is not normal.
This is not. This is abnormally hot for this time.
I think you said a prayer to somebody to screw up my hair. I think that's exactly what happened.
I'm not doing
Right, tomorrow, this needs to be straight. It really needs to be straight.
I understand. It's really hard for I understand.
Maybe I'll just take the wig. Just bring him on over.
I'll have you can have tomorrow. Oh, okay. Are you ready?
Yeah. That goes back to Spider-Man. See how that works?
Full cycle. All the time.
Exactly.
Hey, Troy, nice to meet you. I love that you can.
See you guys tomorrow.
Sorry. Oh my God, look at that. That's cool.
I know, that was your romance was full on. But that was perfect. That was
Sure, I'll stop by.
I'm bounding.
Give yourself
I'm bounding.
Hi, I'm Becky, by the way.
I'm Faye. Hi, nice to meet you. Yeah, you too. I'm the one who gave you the Oswald ornament a couple of years ago.
Oh, weird. That was amazing.
Yeah. Yes. I'm very happy to do it. It's been a long time since I've done that.
It's on my desk.
It is.
On my desk, right above my computer. My partner.
Yes. And he's got a Jeep Grand Cherokee, so we can fit a lot of people here. There's a lot of them. I am. Like him. I've been thinking about giving you some burgers and Danielle took a picture of the perfect.
Welcome to
Hello.
That's
Like really, I get emotional. No one seems to understand.
I've heard that felt good.
I think a lot of us were, you know what? I'm all very non-popular in high school and college and law school and everything. but we sort of find our people and we're like, we have a home here.
They don't work for Disney for 6 years. People that are not there, they don't love it the way that I do.
Working for is different than really. That was not a floater. That was actual
And you can doctor it up. Very excited to listen to it. We tried to help my mom going on like advertising. She's like, oh, they're talking. So we're going. I was so excited when we got announced. I was like, Disney and Alaska.
So I'm going to ask, I have one question for you. And that's not like you remove completely. Like, I'm not size enough to wear your skin or anything.
Not with Disney. Carnival, Royal Caribbean when I was really little, and Alaska.
I've worked so much.
All right, so this is self-serve. Go to the other side of the. Don't laugh at me, Magoo.
I do it for him. Well, he's trying to look right there.
You know what? When you get old and can't read the back of a shampoo bottle, then come talk to me.
Dude, that is the beginning of the end.
At the time, somewhere between 40 and 45.
Yeah, I know that. Please go by.
I will if I stand. I'm very shy. Oh gosh, okay. Okay, absolutely. Bye.
He's a chiz. Chiz.
That was cool.
It scares my My wife's like, that's creepy. I'm like, yeah, it's cute.
I do one day, it's like, get out of bed, that in bed, and then just leave. Yeah. Moving over the course of the night, like a couple different times.
Every day or so.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of under there.
Yes, you touch it. No,
yeah, I actually saw.
Yeah.
Is there? Okay.
Nobody got. doesn't realize how much that matters. He's genuinely like blowing up balloons like so the guy who did it, I think overall it took him like 6.5 hours. And he did that. He did this today live. Yeah.
Did that one take more?
He did this not yesterday. He did it today.
Because that one looks like it might be even more work than that one.
Yeah, it took him like 3.5 hours.
That's awesome. That's dedication. You guys take care.
If my magical pen will write, I've got a tube on there, so if you'll just fill that out and drop it down.
So his name is John Reed. His company is Epic Balloons.
Oh, very cool.
Balloons.
Yeah, I'm going to. I wanted to check it out. Thank you.
Said that the idea of the blue bag was trying to build an airplane and it got screwed up and the idea of the place the roof popped up instead.
So well made.
Right? It's supposed to be Thrawn, but the guy, I was having someone make the costume for me. It's gonna be out here.
Golden Age.
Hey man, how are you? Good.
Hell yeah, buddy.
So far, so good. Yeah, how are you? Yeah. This looks great. I mean, you guys have this.
Yeah, so we built out of yesterday in the gym. 5 days.
Wow.
Yeah, the guys had super talent.
Yeah. Well, I admire you getting,
He's visiting with this gentleman, but come on in, come on in, come on in.
Yeah, it's we met for
He's visiting with this gentleman, but as soon as he's done, just set your stuff right here. Maybe take your time, make yourself at home. But get ready for hugging and hugging. He's known to do that. So I left my card, so.
And he does this with his pictures. All the memories? Yeah. Like there's no sketch or design.
Yeah, he just does it.
So it's not music,
Yeah. Well, just want to say hello.
Yeah, man.
Whenever maybe post that.
I know you emailed me and it's just
Yeah. We'll catch up soon. Yeah, maybe we can Thanks, Lou. Take care.
Hi. Hey, man. How are you? You too. What's up, Joe? Oh, wow. Thank you, man. So much. Where are you from? Okay. I just always had this love of nature, and I wanted to see if I was able to write a book and get it published. And I thought that was it. Like, if I could get the book, that would be the end of it. But started to grow from there, and started some podcast, and here we are. So, luckiest guy in the world. What do you think of all this?
Oh, I love it. I've come here like ever since pretty much the second one.
Oh, okay.
I cannot make the first one because I was close to high school.
Right.
I don't want to know.
It's crazy, right? How big? Like, it's so overwhelming. A lot of fun. Sure. What's the coolest thing you saw tonight? Yeah? I heard all the Disney princesses and stuff came out. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it.
That's probably the most hilarious part of it.
Yeah? I can't wait. I love the first record out, so. You want me to sign up? Holy smokes. So I just, I gotta put on my glasses for this one. Yeah, let's go right in. So, I have something for you, so let's do this first. So I have 2 questions for you. One, what's your shirt size?
Extra large.
Neither. And do you have any audio tools?
Audio tools? No, I have not.
I'm choking on an
right? You got this.
God.
Boom.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is for you, brother. You are very welcome. Thank you so much for coming by and for listening.
I just have to give a hug.
I think you were his younger sister.
There he is. Yeah, nice.
Come on, brother. Hey there, man. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, stop by in over the weekend. I'll get ready to come closer.
I'm going to carry
Thank you, guys.
You know, I thought if you just asked me, I would think that, but like I love the little like surfer ones that are like open through, and then the green on the front. This is right here. I know they really that's a good answer. They really both are. Very cool.
So there's a black one. So the black one says.
So many hot pockets. Yeah.
Don't walk away from the camera.
Or this little piece right here, keep going like this. I heard. I was like,
I work hard at that.
We'll put a tube up here just so we know your second entry. We will just go down.
Nicholas and Marion. My favorite. That's awesome. So far away.
There you go.
No, that's not bad.
Yeah, apparently.
All the
It takes practice. I can do it really fast. Oh my gosh, I think
Oh, it's not like me.